Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot, and today it's all about Scorpio. This is Scorpio season, of course, and this is going to be the weekly reading for Scorpio for November 3rd to the 9th. And Scorpios, let me tell you, you're having an incredible birthday season, birthday month, and we're all really kind of going into an incredible December period, especially with the astrological aspects of Jupiter and Uranus and the other planets this December. So in any case, let's pull out your romance angel messages, Scorpio, and we'll see what this coming week has for you in store. All right, straight out we have calling in your soulmate. All right, very nice. We have love yourself first, and we have soulmate. All right, so calling in your soulmate, love yourself first, and soulmate energy. So very nice indeed, very strong relationship, love, energy, connection. Let's go ahead and get right into your your animal spirits. This is, of course, a general reading, but it may revolve around career mostly, or love relationships. All really depends. We're going to get into that with your spread in a moment, but the animal spirits are going to be representative perhaps of individuals that you're dealing with this week, personality types. They can indicate paths or stages in your life that you're about to enter into, or energies that are becoming available to you, right, that you can tap into, that may help you through a particular stage or scenario, right, or event. Okay, this week. So just take what applies to you, Scorpio, and if it doesn't apply, let it fly. All right, let's see what animal spirits you may be working with. First one out is the bear, earth energy, coming out of a spiritual slumber. The mouse, earth energy also. And the black egg, associated with the sixth chakra, which is the throat chakra or communication, right? Interesting. All right, so the three animal spirits you have this week, let's get right into it. Scorpio, the bear. The bear talks about waking up from a slumber, right? Waking up from a spiritual slumber. It could be that some of you have neglected that side of your life, or just haven't been open or receptive to it, right? You just may not be a very spiritually minded person. That doesn't mean that you're not spiritual, but it just could mean that in your life you may not have been very receptive to that side of yourself. Example of communications or messages, or you may have been quite a skeptic as well, right? But in any case, this seems to indicate that for some of you Scorpios, certain events are happening most recently that are really awakening you to a more spiritual side of life. It could be that some events are coming into your life and they do feel very fated, very destined, meant to be type of scenarios. And it's waking you up perhaps to this idea that, you know, there is such a thing as a soulmate. There is such a thing as outside energies that can come in to help us through different stages, etc. Some of you may be getting into a more spiritually minded side of life, or you may be delving into esoterics or the occult. And again, it's very new for you. It's more like an awakening for you, right? In an area that you really don't have that much experience necessarily, but that you're beginning to sort of more and more be inclined to pursue. It's a very nice awakening period. Now the mouse talks about also earth energy, but the mouse is very, very like busy, caught up, frantic. The mouse is caught up in the details, right? And in this way, the mouse can get extremely overwhelmed. The mouse is unable to see the bigger picture. And so a lot of times people who resonate with mouse energy, they're very sort of skittish. They're very frantic. They're very sort of, like I said, overwhelmed with this kind of haggard feeling of racing back and forth, trying to keep up with all of the little itty-bitty details of something. and just really kind of ending up kind of chasing their tail, right? Not really getting a whole lot accomplished. This could be a worrying type of energy, different than the rabbit. The rabbit is a worrier, but more of a fearful worrier. The mouse isn't, it isn't so much that the mouse is fearful, but the mouse worries. He gets caught up in a lot of stresses, a lot of pressures, right? And the mouse gets extremely overwhelmed very, very quickly. Now, you could be dealing with somebody like this, or you could be resonating with a little bit of this energy this week. And if that's the case, usually with this type of chaotic energy, the best thing to do is just to separate from all of, just to stop. Just stop. Just chill out and stop. Try not to do anything for an afternoon and just calm all your senses down and get more of an idea of the bigger picture of the bigger things in life that make you happy, and sort of try to put things back into their place where they belong instead of letting everything sort of become overwhelming and big. Now, the black egg talks about the sixth chakra, which is associated with the throat, and the black egg talks about communication, right? Getting rid of blockages in communication, which really literally look like a black egg that may be stuck in the throat, literally stuck in the throat because it's dark, it consumes, but it lets no light out in that sense. And so it's not very expressive or it's not open. The channel isn't open. The channel is blocked. The black egg, we talk about opening it up. Learning how to communicate. Scorpio, you are one of these signs. You are an incredibly strong sign, but one of the things Scorpios do sometimes have difficulty is in expressing their feelings. I think because your feelings, Scorpio, oftentimes run so deeply, oftentimes you are, people mistaking you for being insensitive when the truth is that Scorpio is a highly, highly sensitive sign, very, very deep emotional sign, and it's very difficult to put those emotions into words for you. And so, Scorpio, this is a time this week where you will be challenged to express yourself a bit more. Certainly, if you're calling in a soulmate, and you're trying to have a connection with someone, communication is key, right? So keep that line of communication open. Do what you can to connect that throat chakra with your heart chakra so you can really properly express yourself to a loved one. Lest, they, maybe become mistaken and believe that you don't care, Scorpio, right? You don't want to lose a soulmate connection because of an inability to express your love. And so black egg definitely kind of warns us against that. So let's get right into your forecast. We're going to pull out anywhere from 4 to 8 3-card forecasts for you, Scorpio, just to see what scenarios you might be going through this week, what events may be coming in, and just to get a general feel of what some of you may or may not be experiencing. Now, of course, this isn't going to resonate with every single Scorpio out there, and you may only resonate with a portion of these forecasts or even just one of these forecasts, and that's fine too. All right, guys, so just take what applies and let the rest fly. All right, first out, we have 6 of Pentacles, 8 of Pentacles, and the Tower. Okay, so this is about money and your career, your abundance this week. Some of you start off the week feeling great, feeling good about your business. You may have been making a little bit of come up at work. You may have been making a bit more money with whatever your career is. You may have gotten a raise or increased your productivity, etc. Whatever the case may be, it kind of increased your abundance level here, increased your finances. And for some of you, you feel really good this week because you're able to actually you have enough for yourself and also to take care of certain responsibilities you may have. You are able to also fund some of your more sort of humanitarian efforts, altruistic efforts, your charitable efforts. 6 of Pentacles talks about being in a place in your life where you're able to also give charity, where you're able to give of what you have earned. And so you have a very harmonious sort of relationship with money and with abundance. You're not a hoarder, you're not greedy, you're not keeping it all for yourself, or you're not the other extreme, which is, just throwing money out and being very irresponsible. You have found a really nice sort of harmonious way to sort of look at your abundance. It's a very healthy attachment to your money and a healthy way of looking at wanting to do more, right? Six of Pentacles talks about wanting to give more to others. That balance in his hand, balance is really how much the character has for himself and how much he wants to give to the world. He wants to keep that in balance, never keeping too much, never giving too much, having a good relationship. You entered the week with the Six of Pentacles, and then you are greeted with this Eight of Pentacles, which is very much a feeling of buckling down, right? Getting back to work. Some of you may indeed have been helping a lot of others, but you may find that it may have been a little bit more than you anticipated, and whatever the case may be, this week enters in with you having to do a bit more work, having to be a bit more disciplined, right? And that's okay. You don't feel bad about that. However, a Tower moment comes in and something happens. It's almost as if, I want to say for some of you, this Six of Pentacles could be you having taken care of someone like a lover or boyfriend or girlfriend, kind of making their life a little bit easier. You know, they may not have so much funds or abundance, and you're kind of like, spoiling them a little bit, right? But then this week you realize you've got to go sort of back to work. You got to get back to being disciplined. You've been, perhaps in some ways, this balance has been out of balance. And it could be that you've been spending a bit too much money, because what happens is the Tower then comes in later on this week. And it's almost as if you wake up to a scenario and you realize, this isn't turning out the way I expected. For some of you, you may have been giving money to someone and you thought you were having a deep connection with them, and you find out that you don't have a connection with them. You find out that maybe they have not been completely honest with you. They may have taken some of your money. You may have been dealing with a bit of a gold digger who was really preying on your generous side. You may certainly feel that way with this Tower moment. It could be that after really helping somebody out in a particular situation, they leave. They just up and leave. It's like you get them back on their feet, and now they up and leave, and you're kind of stuck like really back at work, having to really kind of discipline yourself again because you spent a lot on this individual. And so although this week starts off feeling quite good and you feel really good about everything, it ends in a Tower moment. And for some of you, unfortunately, I think it is going to be a wake up to a dynamic or a connection with someone that wasn't very healthy at all, and that really kind of took you for a lot of your money, unfortunately. Judgment, Three of Cups, and a Five of Pentacles. So again, Judgment comes in. So events come in and you begin to see a scenario from more than one side. You begin to see other ulterior motives from other people. Judgment generally comes in and kind of like relieves us of misplaced guilt a lot of times. Judgment is when a lot of times we blame ourselves for certain situations that weren't our fault. We have been judgmental about a situation that perhaps we've been unwilling to see the other side of, right? And so when Judgment comes in, it's more a case of stopping the judgment, right? Releasing the judgment and letting go, releasing judgment for yourself and for others. And in this way, it kind of leads to a letting go, right? It leads to kind of a period in life where you know what I mean? You don't hold on to guilt. You're not holding on to guilt. You're also not holding on to the value judgments you've put on others, which makes you quite obstinate in a lot of ways, judgmental in a lot of ways, right? And so you come in with a real kind of like awakening this week, a kind of an understanding. For some of you who have been really overcritical in a lot of ways, you wake up to that, that fact about yourself, Scorpio. And what happens is you have a really nice celebration with somebody as a result. It's like this awakening really like softens you. It kind of makes you a bit more understanding and receptive. You kind of stop being so hard on somebody, and you guys have a really nice coming together. The bonding grows, because 3 is the number for bonding and loyalty, right? And so with 3 of Cups, we talk about like an increase in your bonding. For some of you, because of this awakening, you get closer with someone. Your love intensifies, right? Interestingly enough, though, you do have a 5 of Pentacles here, and it could very well be, I feel as though this 5 of Pentacles is a power struggle, Scorpio. And for some of you, I'm going to say as a result of this kind of awakening and this kind of coming together you have with somebody else, right? This coming together maybe with a lover or a soulmate that you're already together with, but the connection intensifies after you let go of some of this. It's almost as if you have a falling out somewhere else in your life, right? Somebody else is unhappy about this connection that you make here. And you have a kind of a power struggle. It could very well be that you and your soulmate kind of grow, your connection gets deeper, and it's kind of the two of you who end up having a power struggle with another group of people or another scenario, maybe in your social life, or it could very well be that you've come together with a partner that maybe your culture, your background doesn't accept. Could be that for religious backgrounds, various religious reasons, your parents or your whatever your tribe is, right, may alienate the two of you after you guys actually come together and you have this kind of deepening of a bond. You find yourself at the end of the week that both of you are kind of shunned by your prospective either groups or by your group, Scorpio, and then you really wake up to the fact that not everybody is going to be happy about this union. King of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, and 8 of Wands. Okay, so King of Cups, this is you coming in, Scorpio. King of Cups is very scorpionic energy. It's the fiery aspect of water, which of course you are in a lot of ways. And so you've made yourself known to someone. You know there's someone in your life that you want. You've set your sight on them. This is King of Cups. King of Cups is the master of his emotions. He knows exactly what he wants and he goes after it, right? And so you set your sights. You've come into this week really kind of setting your mind to calling in your soulmate, getting your soulmate, right? And you're met with the Knight of Pentacles. So this is I'm going to say the Knight of Pentacles is almost as if this is the person that you're going after is resonating with the Knight of Pentacles in the sense that you want them, you want this love connection, but they are very much on their path with a particular career or business or a financial matter that they're pursuing, and they're not really slowing down for you. They're not slowing down necessarily to wait for you or to, you know, they're like, and I know that the Knight of Pentacles is a slow knight, but he is a methodical knight, and he doesn't stop until he reaches his goal. So no matter how slow he's moving, right? And so the Knight of Pentacles, this individual that you have your eyes on, Scorpio, is very, very busy right now with their eyes on the future for themselves. They may be opening up a business or starting something new in a career path or whatever. And really for some of you, just remember that this doesn't necessarily mean they don't want to be with you, but right now their career comes first. And for some of you Scorpios, you may be feeling a certain kind of way about that because you end the week with the 8 of Wands. And 8 of Wands can sometimes indicate mixed messages coming in. You may be feeling a little bit confused, like, you know, I thought we had a love connection. Why are you now kind of almost feeling like you're turning your back on me to pursue your career? You know, and it does feel very kind of out of joint. It feels like, you know, this may have been a connection that was very, very different a minute ago, but now this person is very sort of focused on the future, but their future, right? The future for their sort of career progress, and it's not so much you two together. I think this is going to be a result of some kind of miscommunication that you guys have had, or something went along, something about the communication went awry because of the Black Egg and 8 of Wands. And 8 of Wands definitely talks about chaotic communication, communication that isn't very focused. And that really serves as a way to, you know, give you a lot of mixed messages, right? So it's very, very confusing. This is going to be a case of having a conversation with your lover and finding out exactly what's going on. 2 of Wands, 8 of Cups, and Justice. So exactly kind of the same scenario again, Scorpio. Some of you are coming in this week with 2 of Wands in the sense that you are wanting to go full steam ahead with a particular endeavor, right? This is Mars and Aries energy. So you're really wanting to take the next step. I'm going to say that you're wanting to take the next step in a relationship, right? In the sense that you are ready to take that next commitment step, that next move towards whatever life you guys are having together. Just a very dynamic as well. But you're met with an 8 of Cups, which is boundaries and borders, right? You're met with somebody, again, this person who you're now wanting to kind of move full steam ahead with. In this particular scenario, it's almost as if they're like, oh, hang on. You know, they have some boundaries all of a sudden they put in place, because 8 of Cups talks about boundaries. And it talks about turning your back on sort of relationships that really don't fit your needs, right? That you pour a lot of energy into, you don't feel like you're getting much back. I'm going to say for some of you Scorpios, you're dealing with somebody who may be feeling this way. And again, I think this is, again, it's going to be a matter of communication, right? This is a case where it could very well be that, yes, you want to go full steam ahead, but something about the communication has left this person feeling as though, you know, this relationship with you is not necessarily what they're looking for. Now, it very well may be what they're looking for, but that hasn't been communicated the right way, right? It just hasn't. Somewhere along the line, you guys haven't been on the same page with the communication. Because again, we have two people who are not really looking at each other again, even though you're wanting to go forward with this connection. You end with a Justice card. So this is like, it's interesting because you almost end, for some of you, I'm going to say you almost end with like an official, you know, you may end with an official split or some kind of decision that's made to kind of bring balance back in. If splitting up brings balance, then that's what it will be. Or if communication and talking about this is what brings balance, then that will be what it is. But whatever the case is here, whatever is out of balance here, and like I say, it's out of balance, I'm going to say because of bad communication. Some of you may have been worrying too much. You may be dealing with somebody who worries too much. Like with this mouse energy, but in any case, justice comes in because if you guys open up your throat chakra, if you communicate honestly, things will indeed come into balance by the end of the week, and you'll begin to come back together again. This is going to be your last spread. 3 of Swords, Ace of Cups, and 4 of Pentacles. Wow, so some of you come into this week feeling kind of like, again, feeling like communication has not been honest, feeling like somebody's really hurt you with what they've said. Scorpio, you could very well be feeling like somebody isn't being 100% about their feelings, or they aren't being honest about their loyalty. Are they really loyal to you? Are they being deceptive? Are they cheating on you? You're not sure, but you certainly come into this week feeling a little bit of a pain to the heart, a little bit of like, you know, just feeling like somebody's played you a bit for a fool. You know, that's what 3 of Swords is about. It's when somebody says that they're loyal, but then they aren't. They say they're honest, but then they aren't. A grotesque version or example of that can be when people cheat on you, third-party energy, which is oftentimes associated with 3 of Swords, but it's deeper than that. It's more that you just feel like you've been played for a fool, or somebody's insulted your intelligence, somebody you cared for. So not only have they hurt you emotionally, but they've really hurt your ego as well, right? But you feel that way. However, I'm going to say for some of you, you're met with an Ace of Cups. So I'm going to say this is a case, again, of miscommunication. This may not indeed be indicative of what's really, really going on, right? And you may just be feeling this way because communication has been so off, but you are met with an Ace of Cups in the sense that your person loves you very much, and whatever the case may be, if you guys communicate, you can come out of this. This can also be, you end the week with a 4 of Pentacles, and I'm going to say for some of you, you may have misread this situation. The earlier spread, you were dealing with somebody who's really focused on their career. I think that this spread is related to the same type of scenario. I think for some of you Scorpios, you've misread some of the feelings, some of their pulling back from you as possibly them lying to you or cheating on you, when the truth of the matter is that more than anything, they're really concerned about finances. They're concerned about their own finances. This could be a new relationship with somebody who doesn't have as much money as you, right? Or doesn't doesn't have as much abundance, or they may have kids and you don't have kids, or whatever the case may be. And they're really under a financial pressure that you know, for some of you, you're misinterpreting as them suddenly pulling away from you, when in actuality, it's because they feel very under the gun, under pressure to sort of deal with financial issues to do with their career or their finances, right? And again, it's going to take a case of talking to them. A lot of you are dealing with a soulmate connection, but you're kind of on the cusp of that going either way because of miscommunication, bad communication, or not really either one or both of you not really trying to meet each other halfway to really understand what the other person is going through. Now, if you can do that, then you surely will end up the month stronger, more committed, and closer together, because like I said, a lot of you are indeed dealing with a soulmate connection, and it is a real connection. But real connections take work. And so this week, a lot of you Scorpios who are resonating with this reading, you will be working on your relationships. All right, guys, this is it, November 3rd to the 9th for Scorpio. I hope it did resonate. If it did, like, subscribe, and share, all of that good stuff. But for right now, I'm going to say, Scorpio, have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye now.